If it's that childhood book that scared anyone from living in a house of straw, it was one in junior high that had just the opposite effect on Jason Williams.
One day when I was about 14, my mom bought me a book called The Straw Bale House, and I just stuck with it and just always wanted to do it.
So once he got old enough and had collected enough lumber, this is the house that started taking shape. He started with a timber frame and from there built the exterior walls by stacking straw bales like you would bricks. The process proved challenging at times.
We'd get the bales stacked and then it would rain. We'd have to go through with a moisture tester and test the bales, and if they were too wet, we'd have to take them apart and put new bales in.
And that played out until Williams was far enough along in the process to plaster the bales on the exterior. The plaster is a mixture of clay, sand, and straw and is anywhere from 2 to 4 inches thick along the straw bale wall. In addition to the plaster, the bales are stabilized on the second floor by 2x4 studs and on the first floor by willow branches tied by twine. It may not be conventional, but Williams says parts of it aren't all that different either.
You've got to make sure, just like a house that's painted, you've got to do the upkeep every once in a while.
That can be fixing cracks in the plaster to prevent the bales from getting wet, which is a challenge that comes with the straw walls. And since he's decided to go with the straw bale route, he is looking forward to some benefits he expects to come with it.
Almost all the modern materials are chemical-based, petroleum-based, and they give me bad chest pains, and they just made me so sick that I just couldn't function well.
But the products used for this house are natural. The plaster protecting the straw bales from the outside will also line the interior walls. With the exception of some Williams bought for the ceiling, the bales will also serve as insulation, insulating far more than the minimum the Department of Energy recommends for this area.
They're usually rated R40 to R70, depending on the thickness of the bale. I'd say ours are probably somewhere between R40 and R50.
But even if it insulates well, during construction the straw is potentially hazardous since it can easily catch fire and burn fast. But that's not the case, Williams says, once construction's complete.
Once it's plastered, that takes away the oxygen, and once the oxygen's taken out, then it smolders rather than burns if there is ever a fire.
For Williams, those benefits far outweigh any challenges that come with a building made of bales. And for him, it's not so much thinking of the first little pig whose house of straw didn't last. It's more Rumpelstiltskin who turned the yellow stuff into gold. With Eye on Kelo Land, I'm Eric Schaffhauser.